If you could do anything with your life and there were no barriers, what would you do and why? A lot of us don't allow ourselves to ask because we're caught up in the life that we're living. Life is like a spider web. The further we go, the stickier it gets to get out of, or to backtrack, or to shift direction. I encourage you today to ask yourself, how did you get where you are doing what you're doing with your life? And are you doing what you feel you're meant to be doing? If we ask ourselves, if there were no barriers and I could do anything I wanted in life, what would I do and why? So I think the question of why is a really good question for us to ask ourselves. Like, why did we choose the path that we're on? Why are we staying in a role or in a situation if it's not serving us? And give yourself permission to dream. When we think about when we were little children, we had imaginations that we could create imaginary friends, we could have tea parties with food that didn't even really exist, but our imaginations were alive. And the further we go in life, the more our curiosity and the permission to be curious about life goes to the wayside. And so I encourage you to, if you're not completely happy with where you are in your life, doing what it is you feel you're meant to do, to reconnect with that part of yourself that may not be allowing you to explore other options. Our ego is going to step in as soon as we ask ourselves, if I could do anything with my life, what would I do and why? If there were no barriers, our ego is going to come up with all of the reasons why, whatever that is that you're thinking you want to pursue, all the reasons why it won't work, or all the reasons why you shouldn't try it. Trying things and doing new things is what keeps us active and alive and really engaged with life as humans. We are meant to be creators. We're meant to create things, create our reality, create new experiences. And when we get in a rut, or we stop believing that we can pursue that thing that we want to pursue, it could be you want to be a public speaker, or write a book, or launch a podcast, start a podcast, or start an online store, or do any of the things that you might be wanting to do. Learn to ride horse, like learn horseback riding, learn archery. Any of the things that you think you want to do or would like to do, it's so important that we give ourselves permission to explore the things we haven't done and remove the barriers to trying them. The other things that I think it's important that we think about is when we look at how we got started in life and how did we wind up on the path that we're on, how did the people around you influence you? Who was it that influenced your decision to go in whatever direction you've chosen to go, whatever profession you're in? Was it your inner knowing, your inner heart, and your knowing inside that guided you in the direction that you have chosen to go? Or were there other people that were influencing you, whether it's family or friends, or could even be a school advisor that may have influenced you? Part of what we believe is possible for ourselves is based on what we've been told or what we've heard from the people around us. And we can get swayed off of the path that we're meant to go down by listening to other people's opinions or taking the advice of others who aren't living our lives. Because the reality is, we're responsible for our lives. No one else is living our life but us. And our happiness is determined by us. No one else makes us happy or makes us sad. It's a choice within ourselves that we're going to either have a life that we love, live a life that we love, or find excuses or reasons why we're not pursuing what it is that we were meant to do as we came on this earth. You know, I will say my own experience, I started out in one direction and I did get swayed by friends at the time, people that I knew in college, and I've ultimately gone the direction later in life that was intended kind of weaving together what I really wanted to do with the direction I ultimately wound up going. And so when, as I say, when you think about what is it that you would do if there were no barriers and you could do anything you wanted, what would you do and why? And again, I'll say, take a sheet of paper, take a notebook, and write down those things that were on your heart. Maybe, in your late teens or in your early 20s, what were those things that you want to do or wanted to do? Pull them up into your current awareness, because you can still do anything. If you look at Louise Hay, she started her Hay House Publishing when she was in her 60s. And there are many people that I could go down a list of people who have done things after they had gone down a different path in their life. So I encourage you, stay connected with your heart and stay true to what it is that you felt like and feel like you want to do. Give yourself permission to be creative and to go within and connect with what would you do if there were no barriers and you could do anything with your life that you wanted to do. What would you do? And write those things down and look at making a plan to even start a baby step toward doing those things. It may not be that you switch from what you're doing currently and just automatically start doing that. Most people aren't in a place to be able to do that. Typically, we start down one career path or one path in life doing one type of work, and then may look up and realize, oh, I want to pursue something else. But you can pursue things in your downtime or even as a hobby. For example, you may have dogs as a passion, or cats, or animals, or seniors, and you can give of your time to help others. It can be an animal or a person, it doesn't matter. Maybe you love plants and you would love to be out in nature more. I'm out here in nature. It's so beautiful here. I'm gonna turn around. We'll see if we can do the sunset in the back, as I sometimes will do. It is so beautiful here today. I just encourage you to stay connected with what you truly want to do with your life, and perhaps what you wanted to do when you were younger. And don't lose your dreams. Stay connected with what you were excited about when you were younger, and then what new things are inspiring you now. At this point in your life, what other things do you want to do? What would you do if there were no barriers and you could do whatever you wanted with your life? Give yourself that permission to go within, and you may even want to put on meditation music and just sit quietly and ask for your guides to give you insight. You have guardian angels, all of us do. Ask for insight, ask for wisdom, and jot down what comes to you, because you can do and be any of those dreams that you have had earlier in your life, or that you still have. You can still pursue them. I'm here wishing you all the best, sending you love and light, and stay connected with your heart so you can live your most authentic life. When we're disconnected from our heart, we're on autopilot. And that is why I think I'm so committed to helping create space for us all to make sure we're connected with our heart and doing the things that we're meant to do, and not missing out on a life we're meant to live. So sending you love and light, and until next time,